Hello everyone, I'm back again with another video, and this is kind of going in a good series, I would say. Since last week I had made a video of unboxing the Uzaki Tsuki Bicute Bunnies figure, and yeah, if you have seen that video, I had mentioned how really pleased I was with the figure itself and the sculpting of it. It was really nice, so I couldn't really wait to paint it. I did have a few more figures lined up which I was painting, but once I got my hands on this figure I decided to finish this first. So yeah, just because I liked it so much, all the other figures got pushed to the side and I decided to paint this one first. Honestly, it was a very satisfying experience. I had really a lot of fun painting this. There's not much of a difference when it comes to the painting of this. I tried to keep the skin shading and the tones as close to my previous work as possible, because I feel that kind of goes really well with these figures. So I'm not changing up that much. Although yeah, of course, since I don't really have any way of measuring these things, I have to visually compare them to figure out if the shades are right or wrong. So I have to make quite a few adjustments before I get to the shade I'm satisfied with, and that's something I do with all my shades when it comes to painting. So it's more or less like a normal thing. This was quite interesting. It's a big figure and I am a fan of figures of this size because of how easy it is to paint them. But also I would say the negative aspect of it is you will need a lot of paint. So if you're like me, who doesn't really measure out paint, you might end up wasting a lot of it, which happens to me from time to time, which is the reason why I generally paint more than one figure at a time, so that if there is extra paint, it doesn't get wasted. So yeah, this one, of course, the base skin tone was airbrushed, and I had mentioned it in my video about the paints that I use. You don't really need to use a primer on each of these figures because I'm using lacquer based paints. They don't really require primer coating. So this one did have some modifications, like very minute, not even noticeable. I had to add the surfacer to cover up those things. So the modifications were basically covering up the areas that were left blank when I removed the leggings, because these leggings are quite thick, so they do leave a significant gap which can be seen very easily. So I had to fill those up with putty and sand it and smoothen it out and all those things. That was like all the patchwork that I had to do on the figure, but other than that, it's perfect as it is. Might have added few more things here and there, but I'll leave that to you guys to figure out. I'm not going to just come out and say it. I mean, come on, let's leave a few surprises. So yeah, so after that, of course, the base was done with airbrush. Even for the hair, I did the same. The base coat was done with airbrush. I prefer doing that because it's easier to save time. Covers a lot of area, saves time, gives me a nice base color to work with, and then I can build up on it. So those are a few things that I wanted to mention, that if you're working with lacquer based paints, you can use some airbrushing to just provide it with a good enough coating which can act like a base coat, and you can paint over it pretty easily. The other thing that I do generally is, once I have the base coat down, especially for the skin, I prefer to spray it with a top coat once, so that I get matte finish and it also seals the base coat. and then I paint over it. So that is something that I do. Many people prefer spraying after each layer. I used to do that at some point, but it's not really that, it doesn't really have that much of an effect. For me, it didn't really suit well, so as I didn't bother doing that. But that is also something that people do. They'll spray the figure after every layer. Other than that, the rest of the painting is pretty standard. Like, it's same stuff that I do with all my figures. Honestly, the effect on the bunny suit, actually I forgot to record. For some reason this time I started recording the process, and then at some point I paused the video for some reason, some work that I was doing, I don't remember very clearly, and then I start painting. After like half an hour or 45 minutes I realized that I did not resume the recording. So that's like big chunk of painting video lost. But either way, it's not really something that there's nothing special you're losing out on, so it's not really that big of a problem. The shading of the bunny suit, it came out looking really nice. Like, the black looks really fine in the final painted figure, and it goes really well with the rest of the figure as well. So yeah, that was painting Uzaki Tsuki from Uzaki-chan Wants to Play. I think that was the title, I forgot. Either way, it's a very beautiful figure, very nice figure. If you like collecting these things, go for it. And if you enjoyed the painting, leave a comment, leave a like, let me know, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.